Assalamualaikum and morning everyone. I am Rosmawati from PJJ Melaka. Social media is the ultimate equalizer. It gives a voice and platform to anyone willing to engage. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this debate. Welcome from this side of the House of Preposition. The motion for today's debate is social media has improved human communication. According to Cambridge English Dictionary, social media is defined as websites and computer programs that allow people to communicate and share information on the internet using a computer or mobile phone. Whilst human communication is the production and reception of spoken, written, signed or gestured information among human beings. Now, we as preposition strongly agree with today's motion. Today, as the first speaker, I will be presenting about how has social media improved human communication. Our second speaker will be talking about positive impacts of social media in improving human communication, rebut the position's points, and sum up our team case. I am going to discuss how social media has improved our communication. Okay, my first point is how social media has drastically changed the way people all over the world interact and communicate. First and foremost, because of social media networks, we are now able to interact with thousands of people all over the world. This is why we see people who have thousands of Facebook friends or tens of thousands of Twitter followers. Without social media, that will be impossible. Social media networks allow us the opportunity to share opinions with a far wider audience. This has been proved through a research by datareporter.com, in which their latest data show that there are 4.33 billion social media users around the world at the start of 2021, that also equating to more than 55% of the total white population. Based on publicly available data up to 17 April January 2021, at least 70 social media platforms have 300 million or more monthly active users. Now, to my second opinion. With social media, there is no filter on the way we speak. There is a big difference between standing face to face with someone and chatting from behind a computer screen. Thanks to social media, people are losing their filters in conversation, especially with strangers. People are revealing more of themselves to one another via social media, and brand communications have had to evolve to keep up. Consumers expect full transparency from companies.
However, by referring to the research conducted by Proficiency.org, there are also drawbacks of social media, such as stalking, addiction, and invasion of privacy. From this, it can be said that social media is also a platform to leave many users unprotected.
To answer negative team's rebuttal, many well-established social media applications provide security policy to their users. For example, Facebook provides a secure browsing that protects the user's information. Users' activity of posting a status or sending a message is encrypted. Meaning to say, it is turned into code. People cannot easily access other information without permission. So, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, one of the biggest changes in the way that we interact due to social media networks is the sheer number of people that we can interact with.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Ong Siu Yong, number metric 260177. The topic of our debate is social media has improved human communication. We as today opposition strongly believe that today's motion is not true. Nevertheless, before we present our argument, I will define some important terms in this debate. According to Merriam-Webster, social media is a form of electronic communication such as website for social media and microblogging, through which users create online communities to share information, idea, personal message, and other content such as video. Whereas communication is a process by which information is exchanged between humans through a common system, symbols, signs, or behaviors. Today, as a first speaker, I will be talking about negative impact of social media. Our second speaker will be talking about the factors of why social media has not improving human communication, rebut, and sum up our team case. The first speakers of affirmative team trying to tell you that social media is a good platform to connect with people all over the world. She say that with social media we could interact with thousands of people with various backgrounds. However, this is wrong because interact with thousands of people is also mean we interact with thousands of strangers. And this is dangerous as we do not and will not know that the stranger could be a criminal undercover or ever a scammer. Next, the first speaker also say that people are expressing and revealing themselves to one another in social media, as there is no filter on how we communicate. I disagree with this point for the reason that with this no filter on how we communicate, it could lead to uncontrollable incidents since social media users are allowed to express their opinion, thought unlimitedly. There is a higher chance that the crime of cyberbullying will occur, in which later could lead to a more serious problem which is suicide. Moving on, I am going to present the negative impact of social media in human communication. Firstly, social media is affecting its users' relationship and decreased the quality of interpersonal communication due to the extensive use of social media platform is the impoverishment of language. People who communicate via social media or text message are not necessarily spelling things incorrectly. They are speaking a new language entirely. For example, FYI is commonly used as an abbreviation for your information.
So, how is this decreasing the quality of interpersonal communication?
What I am trying to prove here is the chances of good and meaningful communication are reducing day after day. The short version of messages like what I provide just now are ruining the beauty of the language and not doing justice to our grammar. The habit of relying on social media too much also lead to decrease in one informative skill. Furthermore, the people who are habitual to communicating on social media have fewer abilities, especially in terms of informatic skill. This is because of the lack of confidence in social media users. They feel hesitation in communicating with others face to face. People who talk to their family and friends face to face have more courage to speak, and it boosts their levels of confidence. Social scientists try to avoid gathering where they feel they can be asked different sorts of questions. They feel no power and cannot put their opinion when you make them sit among people. It happens because they are used to communicate with others alone in their rooms where not one is watching them. Interacting only through mobile phones affect the ability to confront people face to face. As summary, the frequent use of social media is leading us to the situation where people try to avoid talking with each other. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. I'm Fifina Shafini binti Muhammad Kamarul, metric number 258510. I'm a second speaker from affirmative team. Good morning everyone. The motion of our debate is social media has improved humans' communications. We, the affirmative team, believe that this statement is true. The first speaker of negative team has tried to tell you that an extensive use of social media can affect people's relationship. This is wrong because I believe that in today's society, the use of social media has become a necessary daily activity. Social media is typically used for social interactions and access to news and information and decision making. It is a valuable communication tool with others locally and worldwide, as well as to share, create, and spread information. For an instance, during the COVID outbreak, many social media friends have shared their experiences of social distancing and taking care of this virus on social media accounts. This indicates that social media supports in a pandemic is useful, keeping and sharing people experience the same feeling as others with the disasters. She also said that social media is making humans lose their face-to-face communication skills. I disagree with this view as a survey conducted by Common Sense Media reported that social media actually improve your relationships with friends because it allows them to be constantly connected, although there are some teens said that social media distract them from talking to their friends. In particular, a friend is available at the tap of a screen and teens can connect with members of their extended family whom they do not regularly see. Our first speaker has already explained on how social media has improved human communications. Now it is my turn to be talking to you about the positive impacts of social media on humans' communications. My first point is social media helps in finding common ground. As already mentioned before, social networking sites help in finding people who have similar interests like you. This is going to help in making it easy for those people to find common ground with you, of course. In order to achieve this, you need to share some information about yourself, which can decrease your privacy at least partly. It is always important to consider what you share on social network. But even sharing your likes as well as dislikes along with different opinions and interests can help to find a common ground with other participants of social media. Moving on, social media helps in building relationships. Social helps you to get back in touch with those people with whom you have lost contact years back. You can even build a relationship with a person with whom you have numerous things in common. It can be rightly said that social media is one of the best grounds where long-lasting relationships can start. Whether it is friendships or love, social media will help you to nurture your relationship, which is extremely positive.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I do not agree when you opine that social media helps humans in building and nurture a long-lasting relationship or friendship. This is because how can we exactly really know someone's personalities if we did not meet the person physically?
Thanks for the questions. As far as concerned, all of these negative social problems occur in social media can be administered. For example, how can we ensure that someone we meet in social media is the same person in real life and not a catfish? We, as the users, can prevent all of your photos you post online from the catfish by setting strict privacy control settings on your social media. You know, catfishing issues are abusive and deceptive. Always choose the option where only friends can see your child's photos and close inactive social media accounts. All in all, I, as the last speaker in my team, still strongly believe that social media has improved a lot on human communication, especially during this pandemic of COVID-19, in which social media does play an ultimate role in making us connect and stay connected with every human beings. With that, we rest our case.
Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. My name is Noreha binti Mak Zain. My matric number is 260102 from Melaka campus. I am the second speaker for the native team and I am against today's debate motion. The second affirmative speaker made an effort to apprise all of you here that social media helps you finding a common ground. She appointing that in finding an online friend who has someone interest like you. You need to open up your privacy in order to share information about yourself. Nevertheless, I strongly disagree with this point of view because this is dangerous to people who let their guards down on social media and normally they could internationally or unintentionally share their online banking information to their online trusted partner. To support my argument, I hereby include a data from an internet fraud study held by digi.com Berhad, where the study showed that online dating scams are the top 3 in Malaysia. The second speaker also highlighted that social media helps in building friendships. I have a very different point of view regarding this point. Building some friendship or relationship through social media could lead to more negativity to its user, especially teenagers. Aside from cyberbullying, oversharing, and sexting issues, social media also can put negative pressure on friendships, especially when one friend is very active about posting pictures, status updates, and opinions hurts others. The first speakers from our teams has already touched the ground of negative effect of social media. The second speakers will convince all of you the factor that making social media not improve humans' communication but degrading it. Firstly, with easy person-to-person access by using social media, people are becoming lazy. The purpose of inventing social media is communication, and although this purpose seems to be fulfilled from outside, but the soul of communication might have to be decreased to the point that humans being prefer to communication online.
What do you mean by the soul of communication decreasing?
To answer the affirmative inquiry, studies show that 11% of adults prefer to stay at home on weekends and make posts on Facebook instead of going out and acquiring real-life experiences. This further proves that people are losing interest in meeting others in person. Additionally, nobody cares about the potential consequences their words have on other people when typing behind a screen. The face-to-face element of communication is totally lost. Not saying somebody's facial feedback can empower people to be bolder and ruder while on social media. Secondly, having social media is a medium of communication among humans can lead to terrible habits. Owing to this fact, usage of social media needs to be self-moderate. Saying as spend these hours of time staring blanking into a phone screen is very easy, but not to our benefits. Checking our phones and our social media account has become a meaningless habit for many of us. Creating a routine of checking Instagram even if we just check the apps minutes before. For instance, we are such human beings and we know that if we left our phone somewhere, if we are not checking our Twitter's account 200 times a day, and we are creating a sense of anxiety and we are not able to do that, we know we are a problem. In closing, social media can be a useful tool when used as indeed and in moderation. However, the value is lost when people lose aspects of their social life in favor of sitting behind their computer. The divided social media can create a greater that the connectivity is provided. With that, we rest our case.